From the very beginning, when the world still felt vast and uncertain, I remember the moment my path crossed with someone whose presence would change the very rhythm of my days. Even now, when I close my eyes and revisit that first encounter, I can feel a delicate warmth blooming in my chest, as if a quiet promise had been whispered into the air before either of us spoke a word. It was not a dramatic moment, not the kind that would stop time for all who watched, yet for me, it shifted everything. Her smile seemed to gather the light around her, shaping it into something soft and meaningful, something I instantly understood without needing to analyze or question. I felt, in that instant, a connection that defied explanation, as if life had placed us in that precise moment for a reason only the heart could comprehend. Every time I think of her, my heart expands with a tenderness I didn't know it could contain. There is a kind of serenity that comes with loving someone who feels so naturally aligned with who you are. She carries herself with a grace that doesn't boast and a confidence that inspires rather than intimidates. Watching her, listening to her, simply existing beside her, all of it has become a source of quiet awe. There are times when I observe her in silence, lost in the simplicity of her movements, and I feel as though I am witnessing something extraordinary disguised as ordinary life. Her laughter, especially, holds a magic I can never quite explain. It lifts the weight from even the heaviest days, changing the color of the world around me. It is music without notes, joy without effort, light without fire. And every time I hear it, I feel myself rediscover the simple wonder of being alive. We have shared so many moments that linger in my memory like jewels tucked away in a secret box. Unexpected adventures, late-night conversations, warm embraces during quiet evenings. None of these moments were grand, and yet each one feels irreplaceable. There have been times when something as small as watching her enjoy a favorite treat or laugh at an inside joke made me feel as though the universe had paused to let us savor the beauty of now. I never realized how deeply the smallest joys could shape a day until I experienced them with her. She has a way of bringing out the best parts of life simply by being present, turning the routine into something meaningful and the ordinary into something magical. With her, I've discovered a sense of belonging that feels both new and familiar. It's as though I've come home to a place I didn't know I was searching for. She understands me in ways that feel rare. Not because she tries to decode me, but because she listens with intention, with patience, with sincerity. There are thoughts I once kept hidden, dreams I hesitated to voice, fears I tucked away in the quiet corners of my heart. Yet with her, these pieces of me feel safe to reveal. Her acceptance is not just comforting, it is liberating. She has shown me that vulnerability is not weakness, but a bridge, a passage, a way of truly knowing another person. There are moments when I look up at the night sky, the constellations shimmering like scattered whispers of ancient stories, and I find myself thinking about how trust grows, quietly, layer by layer, like the universe itself expanding. With her, trust has become something I no longer fear. She gives me the freedom to be imperfect, to be human, to express the parts of myself that once felt too fragile to share. And when I turn to her with my uncertainties, she meets me not with judgment, but with warmth and understanding. Her compassion steadies me in ways I didn't anticipate, grounding me when my thoughts become tangled, reminding me that I am not alone in my struggles. She has become not only a beloved companion but also one of my greatest sources of support. When I falter, she reminds me of my strength. When I doubt myself, she offers reassurance that feels like a gentle hand guiding me forward. Her belief in me is something I treasure deeply, not because it flatters me, but because it encourages me to believe in myself. I can hear her voice echoing in the back of my mind in moments of challenge, urging me not to give up, to trust in who I am becoming. It is astonishing how one person's faith can reshape the way you view yourself. Her presence in my life has illuminated paths I never imagined walking, emboldened me to dream more openly, more bravely. Every day with her feels like a chance to discover something new, not only about the world but about ourselves. We share a love of exploring new places, tasting unfamiliar flavors, leaning into the unexpected joys of wandering without a strict plan. There have been moments on our travels when I've looked over at her, the wind playing through her hair, the sunlight warming her face, and felt as though time itself was pausing in admiration. Even the quieter days, when we stay home and watch our favorite films or simply rest in each other's company, hold a charm all their own. Our conversations flow with ease, weaving between humor and sincerity, dreams and memories, hopes and curiosities. There is something profoundly comforting in knowing that no matter how the conversation shifts, no matter where it leads, we always find ourselves aligned, as if guided by the same invisible melody. People sometimes ask why I seem so content, so genuinely happy, and I think the answer is simple. Love has transformed me. Not the idealized version of love that appears in stories, but the kind that grows through shared challenges, whispered encouragements, patient understanding. Love has reminded me of my own potential, taught me to embrace who I am with greater compassion, encouraged me to follow my aspirations without hesitation. It's not the butterflies or the fleeting moments of elation that define this feeling for me. It's the resilience we share, the strength that rises in the face of difficulties, the quiet but unwavering commitment to supporting each other through every season. There are days when I'm astonished by her ability to forgive and understand. She doesn't cling to the things that separate or divide. Instead, she chooses to hold on to what connects us, what strengthens us. That kind of grace is not common. It teaches me, every day, to see the beauty in imperfection. In myself, in her, in the world around us. Together, we have built something grounded in trust and mutual respect. Something that grows not because it is flawless, but because it is nurtured with intention and care. Her support has helped me navigate challenges with a steadiness I did not always possess, making me feel as though there is no obstacle we cannot face together. When I think about the future, I envision it blooming with shared experiences and memories yet to be created. I dream of journeys we have yet to take, of places we will discover hand in hand, of laughter waiting in moments we cannot foresee. I imagine building a life woven with small joys and quiet triumphs, of supporting each other's dreams with the same dedication we've already shown. Whether we explore unfamiliar landscapes, start new traditions, or simply enjoy the gentle passage of time together, I look forward to it all with an open heart. She is not only the one I love, but the one I trust, the one who brings peace to my restless thoughts, the one I confide in without fear. Even the quiet spaces between us, the moments without words, without plans, without expectations, feel precious. In these silences, I sense a depth of connection that words could never fully capture. It is as though our hearts speak a language understood only by the two of us, a language formed through shared moments, honesty, and the simple act of being present. She brings light into places I once thought would remain dim. Her voice, her expressions, her gentle presence. Everything becomes a soft reminder that life can be both delicate and profound, that love can be both gentle and powerful. I often find myself wanting to create memories with her simply because being in her company makes every moment feel worth treasuring. Whether we are wrapped in a quiet evening at home or wandering beneath a vast sky during some unplanned adventure, she makes even the simplest experience feel extraordinary. Her care has shown me a version of comfort I never knew I was missing. A comfort that does not fade, does not waver, does not demand anything more than honesty and presence. She has touched the darker corners of my life with a kindness that feels almost unreal, bringing warmth into spaces that once felt cold. There are moments when I think back on the person I was before she entered my life, and I barely recognize that version of myself. It is not that I was lost, but rather that I did not yet know how deeply I could feel, how profoundly I could care, how fully I could trust. She awakened parts of me that had long been quiet. Her gentleness softened my guarded edges, and her presence grounded me in ways I had never thought possible. Sometimes I wonder if she realizes how significant her influence has been, how her kindness has silently reshaped the landscape of my inner world. She has shown me that love is not a sudden blaze but a steady flame, warm and enduring. When I hear her voice, Even on the most ordinary days, something within me relaxes. It is like stepping into sunlight after a long winter, a sensation both comforting and invigorating. She speaks with sincerity, whether she is sharing her dreams, her fears, or her laughter, and each word seems to carry a piece of her heart. I treasure the way she communicates, not only through what she says but also through what she does not say. The thoughtful pauses, the gentle glances, the unspoken assurances that linger between us like soft echoes. There is a quiet intimacy in those moments, the kind that feels more meaningful than any elaborate declaration. Her strength continues to astonish me, not because it is loud or forceful, but because it is rooted in compassion. She meets challenges with a resilience that inspires me to mirror her courage. She moves through the world with purpose. Yet she remains humble in the face of accomplishments, grateful for each opportunity to grow. Watching her pursue her goals with such determination fills me with pride, but it also reminds me that love is not only about admiration. It is about support, encouragement, and walking alongside one another even when the path becomes uneven. She has witnessed me at my most uncertain, at times when shadows clouded my clarity, and fear tightened its grip around my thoughts. Yet not once did she turn away. Instead, she offered understanding, the kind that feels like a breath when you've forgotten how to breathe. She reminded me of my own strength whenever I doubted it, and through her steady reassurance, I learned to trust myself again. I discovered that vulnerability is not a burden when shared with someone who sees your truth and chooses to stay. Being with her has taught me that love thrives in the everyday moments. The mornings spent sharing quiet conversations, the evenings wrapped in gentle silence, the small gestures of care that often go unnoticed by the rest of the world. These moments form the foundation of something lasting, something real. I find myself noticing the subtle details of her presence, the way her eyes soften when she listens, the way her lips curve into a smile when she is amused, the peaceful expression she wears when she is lost in thought. These details, seemingly small, become the threads that weave together the tapestry of my affection for her. There are times when we speak about the future, and even though the specifics remain unformed, the certainty of wanting to face it together is enough. I picture us exploring new cities, discovering unfamiliar landscapes, sharing meals that become stories, and filling our days with memories that will one day make us smile when we think back on them. I imagine us growing older with the same tenderness that colors our days now, continuing to learn from one another, continuing to support each other's dreams, continuing to choose each other even when life presents new challenges. Her presence has changed the way I perceive the world. Colors seem brighter, days feel fuller, and even moments of difficulty become manageable when I know she is by my side. She has become my grounding force, the person I look to when I need clarity, calmness, or simply the comfort of being understood. There is an indescribable peace in knowing that someone sees you completely. Not the polished version, not the curated strengths, but the entire mosaic of your being, and still holds you close. Sometimes I watch her when she does not realize I am looking, and in those quiet observations, I find myself overwhelmed by admiration. She moves with a combination of elegance and authenticity that cannot be imitated. Her laughter illuminates her features, and even in stillness, she radiates a quiet confidence. These moments remind me how grateful I am to share my life with someone so uniquely incredible, someone whose heart holds more generosity than she ever acknowledges. She often tells me that I inspire her, but the truth is that she inspires me far more. She has taught me to be patient, to be kind, to be brave enough to confront my fears and gentle enough to forgive myself when I falter. She encourages me to embrace my dreams with both hands, reminding me that ambition is not selfish when paired with humility. Her belief in my potential has changed the way I walk through the world, giving me the courage to stand taller, speak openly, and pursue the life I envision. The memories we share have become a collection of precious tokens I carry with me. I remember the nights we stayed up talking until dawn, our laughter echoing through the quiet, our thoughts intertwining like threads forming a single, unbroken bond. I remember the evenings we spent watching the sky shift from gold to deep blue, our hands intertwined, our hearts speaking in a rhythm only we understood. Even the moments of silence, those gentle pauses when neither of us felt the need to fill the space with words, have become memories I hold close. There is beauty in the calm, beauty in simply existing together. Her care is different from anything I have ever known. It does not overwhelm, nor does it expect anything in return. It is sincere, gentle, and deeply reassuring. She comforts me in ways I didn't realize I needed, not by trying to fix everything, but by being present, by understanding, by offering a space where I can let down my guard without fear. Her love becomes a refuge where I can rest, reflect, and rebuild. In her presence, even the most complicated emotions unravel into something manageable, something human, something shared. She has walked into the darker corners of my thoughts and illuminated them with her compassion. Her kindness reaches places within me that I once believed were unreachable, reminding me that even the most painful parts of our stories can be softened by love. There is a special kind of strength in the way she holds me during my vulnerable moments. Not one of dominance, but of unwavering loyalty. It is a strength that whispers, "You are safe, you are understood, you are loved." Sometimes I wonder how it is possible for a single person to change the trajectory of one's life so profoundly. Yet when I look at her, when I listen to her, when I feel the steady reassurance of her presence, the answer becomes clear. It is not about grand gestures or extravagant declarations. It is about consistency, empathy, and the courage to face the world hand in hand. It is about choosing each other every day, even when the horizon feels uncertain. With her, I have learned that love is not a destination but a journey, one that requires patience, dedication, and the willingness to grow together. We have faced challenges, stumbled through misunderstandings, and confronted our insecurities. Yet each challenge has strengthened the bond between us, teaching us the importance of communication, honesty, and forgiveness. She does not hold on to resentment, nor does she allow fear to overshadow what we share. Instead, she shows me the value of compassion, not only toward her but also toward myself. She reminds me that love is a space where imperfections are embraced, where growth is celebrated, where mistakes become opportunities to understand each other more deeply. And in that space, I feel cherished, respected, and seen for who I truly am. There is a beauty in being loved not despite your flaws but alongside them, in being accepted not as a perfect individual, but as a whole human being with strengths, weaknesses, hopes, and fears. When I think about the life we are creating together, I envision a future filled with warmth, exploration, and endless possibilities. I see us standing together through triumphs and challenges, learning from every experience, and supporting each other's aspirations with unwavering loyalty. I imagine us creating traditions that will become part of our story, memories that will shape the narrative of our love. I imagine the quiet mornings we will share, the adventures that await us, and the simple joy of knowing that no matter where life leads, we will face it side by side. There are evenings when I sit by the window, listening to the quiet hum of the world as it settles into night, and I find myself reflecting on the journey we have shared so far. The memories drift in softly, like pages of a book turning themselves, each one holding a softness I want to hold on to forever. Sometimes, in those reflections, I marvel at how naturally our lives intertwined, how effortlessly our hearts seem to understand each other from the very beginning. It still amazes me that someone so extraordinary would choose to walk beside me, would choose to share not just the brightest moments, but the complicated ones too, the ones that require patience and understanding. Her love has taught me that true connection is not born from perfection but from sincerity. From the willingness to show up genuinely, to share one's truth even when it trembles. I have become more myself with her, not because she shaped me into something new, but because she helped me see the strength and beauty that was already within me. She sees the best parts of me even when I struggle to recognize them, and she holds the fragile parts of me with such gentleness that I cannot help but feel safe. That safety, that profound sense of belonging, is something I hope to give her in return every day of my life. There is a quiet kind of joy in the way we coexist, in the unspoken agreement that we can be completely ourselves without fear. I cherish the softness of her presence, the way she leans her head on my shoulder during a quiet moment, the way her fingers trace gentle patterns on my hand when we are lost in thought. These gestures, though small, carry a depth of affection that words alone could never capture. They remind me that love is not always spoken. Often, it is felt in the silence, in the warmth of a shared breath, in the comfort of knowing someone is there without needing to ask. We have discovered a rhythm together, one that adapts and evolves as we grow. Some days move quickly, filled with plans, responsibilities, and ambitions. Other days unfold slowly, inviting us to rest, to breathe, to appreciate the stillness. I have learned to treasure both, the lively and the quiet, because both reveal different shades of who we are, and in each shade, in each passing moment, I find myself falling more deeply into the life we are building. She has given me the courage to dream beyond the boundaries I once placed around myself. With her, the horizon feels closer, more reachable, as though the world expands a little wider each time she encourages me to take a step forward. Her support is not loud or boastful, it is steady and genuine. She believes in my potential not because she wants to imagine me as someone else, but because she sees who I truly am and what I can accomplish. That kind of faith is transformative. It settles into your heart like a quiet sunrise, warming everything it touches. There are moments when I wonder how I lived without this depth of companionship, without this sense of purpose tied so delicately to love. I think about the way she listens when I speak, not out of obligation but out of genuine curiosity. I think about the way she asks questions that make me reflect more thoughtfully, the way she encourages me to slow down, to breathe, to be present. Her presence has taught me to savor the small things. The warmth of morning light through the curtains, the softness of a whispered goodnight, the comfort of shared silence. I love the way we talk about our dreams, sometimes with clarity, other times with the kind of imagination that belongs to late-night musings. We speak about places we hope to visit, experiences we want to share, and the kind of life we envision years from now. There is something beautiful about planning a future with someone who not only listens to your aspirations, but adds her own with equal excitement. It makes the future feel like a shared creation, something we are painting together with hope and dedication. Sometimes, in the midst of those conversations, I catch myself simply staring at her, admiring the way her eyes light up when she speaks about something she loves. In those moments, I realize how profoundly she inspires me. She carries a grace that is both natural and cultivated, a balance of strength and tenderness that makes her presence feel both grounding and uplifting. I admire her ability to remain compassionate even in moments of difficulty, to remain patient when others might grow weary, to remain hopeful even when the path ahead is unclear. Her forgiveness is something that continues to humble me. She does not hold on to resentment, she does not allow past mistakes to overshadow the present. Instead, she offers understanding and chooses to see the heart behind the error. That kind of forgiveness is not passive, it is courageous. It reflects a deep commitment to nurturing our connection, to choosing love even when it requires effort. Through her, I have learned that forgiveness is not about erasing pain, but about healing it together, with openness and empathy. Our journey has not been without challenges, but I would not trade a single moment of it. Each difficulty has strengthened the bond between us, revealing the resilience of our love. We have walked through misunderstandings and learned the importance of communication. We have confronted our insecurities and discovered that love becomes stronger when both people are willing to be vulnerable. She has shown me that challenges do not diminish love. They refine it, revealing its most enduring qualities. When I imagine the years ahead, I see a life filled with shared accomplishments and cherished memories, but also with the inevitable ups and downs that come with being human. And yet, I feel no fear about the future. With her, uncertainty becomes manageable. With her, every difficulty feels like a challenge we can overcome. Every joy feels magnified. Every day feels worthwhile. I want to grow with her, to learn with her, to support her ambitions just as she supports mine. I want to celebrate her achievements, comfort her during her struggles, and be the steady presence she can rely on no matter what. There is a tenderness in the way she holds my hand, a promise wrapped in the simplest of gestures. When our fingers intertwine, it feels like a quiet vow, one that does not need to be spoken aloud to be understood. I feel the same silent promise every time she looks at me with that gentle sincerity. Every time she offers her comfort without hesitation, every time she stands beside me with unwavering loyalty. These moments shape the foundation of what we have, a foundation built not on perfection but on dedication and unconditional support. I want to fill our life with memories that she can look back on with warmth. I want to create experiences that make her feel cherished, valued, and deeply loved. Whether it is planning trips to places she has always dreamed of, surprising her with small gestures that reflect how well I know her, or simply holding her close during moments of quiet, I want every day to remind her that she is the heart of my world. She deserves a love that is thoughtful, nurturing, and steadfast, and I am committed to giving her that with every breath. Our love has become a guiding star, gentle yet constant, illuminating our path even when the night feels long. It is a love that does not fade with time but grows deeper, richer, more resilient. It is a love built on respect, kindness, and the knowledge that we are better together than we could ever be apart. I feel honored to share this journey with her, honored to witness her growth, honored to be trusted with her heart. Sometimes I imagine moments far into the future, the two of us sitting together on a quiet evening, reminiscing about the adventures we took and the dreams we fulfilled. I imagine looking back on our life with a sense of pride, knowing that we faced challenges with courage, celebrated victories with gratitude, and loved each other with unwavering devotion. The thought of growing old with her fills me with a peaceful joy. I want to see how her smile changes with the passing years, how her laughter deepens, how our bond evolves into something even more profound. She is not just my partner, she is my confidante, my companion, my inspiration, and my closest friend. She is the one who listens to the thoughts I hesitate to say aloud, the one who understands the meaning behind my silences, the one who anchors me when my world becomes uncertain. Her presence is a source of strength I cherish, a steady light that guides me through the intricate patterns of life. When I think of her, my heart fills with an emotion that feels larger than anything I can put into words. It is a love that endures, a love that comforts, a love that transforms. It is a love that makes me grateful every morning and hopeful every night. She has given me a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging, and a sense of joy that I carry with me always. As I reflect on everything we have shared and everything that awaits us, I feel overwhelmingly grateful for the love that binds us. I want her to know that she is treasured beyond measure, that her presence in my life has been a blessing that continues to shape me in the most profound ways. I want her to know that she is loved not just in moments of ease but in moments of challenge, not just in triumphs but in struggles, not just in sunshine but also in storms. Our journey is far from over. In many ways, it feels as though we are only beginning to discover the fullness of what our love can become. I look forward to the days ahead with hope and with excitement, knowing that together we can face whatever life presents. I feel ready to build a future with her. One filled with compassion, laughter, growth, and endless possibility. I feel ready to cherish her, to support her, to honor the bond we share with every choice I make. She is my heart's truest companion, the one who brings color to my world and peace to my thoughts. And as I look toward the future, I know that no matter where the path leads, I will walk it with her, hand in hand, heart beside heart.